Dominick Reyes versus Jiri Prochazka takes place this weekend in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 25, Reyes versus Prochazka, and I can't wait for this light heavyweight main event. Now, I know I say that about literally every single fight that I break down on this channel. I'm always talking about how I can't wait for it, but genuinely, I am so excited for this main event. This is one of the bigger ones of the year so far in terms of Fight Night main events. I know Gastelum versus Whittaker was good, but this one, in my opinion, is very intriguing, not just because of what's on the line and who the two fighters are, but just because Jiri Prochazka is performing, because after that fight with Volkan Ozdemir, I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone here that watches MMA, I was invested with Jiri Prochazka after I saw what he did to Volkan Ozdemir, not just the KO. In fact, I don't even care about the KO that he got over Volkan Ozdemir. The charades, the attitude, the flamboyance, the flair that we saw inside the cage from Jiri Prochazka captivated my mind immediately, and I had to immediately do extra research and literally watch every single one of his fights over at Rising. I love his style. It's one of the most appeasing styles to watch in the entirety of the UFC. I like how he does random things like covering his right hand before he throws it and sort of doing this little Christian symbol on his chest and telling people off when they hit him back and walking people down like his controller's switched off. I love everything about Jiri Prochazka, and I love everything about Dominick Reyes, and I'll continually dispronounce Jiri Prochazka's name throughout this video in various different ways. I know it is pronounced like this, Prochazka, or Prochazka. I know it's pronounced like that. I just can't do it because I'm stupid. Okay, do you understand me? But I'm going to move on with the video. Dominick Reyes, Jiri Prochazka. I like this fight very much indeed. Both guys have got good styles. Dominick Reyes looking to bounce back after his bad loss to Jan Blachowicz. Before that, he lost to Jonathan Jones. We all know that he beat John Jones, so if Jiri Prochazka can go out there and get a good win over Dominick Reyes, it's really going to start looking bad on John Jones now that he's left that division, because all of these tough fights that he had are being beaten by guys on the come up like Alexander Rakic, Jiri Prochazka as well, and if Jiri Prochazka does win this one against Dominick Reyes, I'm sure we could see an Alexander Rakic bout made next. I think that's what's on the line here. The winner of this one is going to get a bout with Alexander Rakic, probably on the same card as Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira in September, just in case anything happens to the main event. I'm sure they'll want to have another fight on that card that can fill in if they need it to. Jiri Prochazka is an amazing bout, an amazing fighter, and I can't wait for this weekend, man. Let's talk about the fight. I believe that Jiri Prochazka is going to go out there and get the job done against Dominick Reyes. I'm calling a second round TKO. Let me just do this one more time.
Prochazka.
Prochazka. See, I don't like the way she says it, though. Prochazka, wake up a bit. You're doing like translations for a website here, you know what I mean? Prochazka. Get some... I don't like the attitude of the women that does this. And also, I don't like the fact that it's in a female voice, because it makes it, when I say it, a naturally higher pitched tone anyway. Either way, the surname is pronounced Prochazka, okay? I'm looking forward to this bout. I think he's going to get the job done over Dominick Reyes. I'm going to call maybe a lead uppercut KO or a lead uppercut sequence finish for Jiri Prochazka in the second round. I'm just going to fucking pronounce it wrong every time. I can't do this video. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce his name consistently. There's just something about the name. I know how to roll my R's. I can do that. Okay? I know how to pronounce his name. I just can't do it in sequence with other words. I'm sorry. But that's what we're going to have to put up with. He's going to win. He's going to win this weekend, I think, against Dominick Reyes. Dominick Reyes is coming off that bad loss to Jan Blachowicz, where he got his nose broken. He's arguably got his ribs broken as well. I'm not even too sure about that, but I would assume that there's going to be something wrong with Dominick Reyes' ribs after that fight with Jan Blachowicz. Nose shattered, completely misfigured on his face like Arlovski. Got KO'd as well in the second round, and I just don't think he's going to be able to beat Jiri Prochazka, because Jiri Prochazka is just such a weird style matchup. I don't think he's going to like it coming off these losses. If I was Dominick Reyes, I'd be looking right now at a more traditional stand-up opponent. Maybe I'd like to take a bout with Magomed Ankalaev, someone who does things a little bit more normal, something I can prepare for, something I can not get too worried about when I'm in the first round with him and he's doing literal fucking exorcisms in the center of the cage and then walking me down with attitude. Like, I feel like Dominick Reyes is not going to win this one, and I'm just going to go off of what I feel like right now. I was picking Dominick Reyes, I've switched to Jiri Prochazka, I've switched back to Dominick Reyes, I've switched back to Jiri Prochazka, and every single time I'm leaning Dominick Reyes, I'm more worried than I was when I'm picking Jiri Prochazka, because I feel like there's literally no way of predicting this one. It's very hard to tell what's going to happen, because Dominick Reyes might never show up the same way he did against John Jones again after that beatdown against Jan Blachowicz. Maybe Jiri Prochazka shows up and just basically asks to be KO'd by Dominick Reyes and leaves his head out there and points to his chin and starts head-butting head kicks from Dominick Reyes and head-butting punches. There's really unpredictableness with this fight. There is a lot of it, and I feel like I'm going to go on momentum here. I like the style matchup here. I don't see any grappling taking place whatsoever, and if there is going to be some grappling, I definitely see Dominick Reyes not doing the better of the two of them in that situation. Dominick Reyes has really good takedown defense. He's got very low hips, which is why he has such good takedown defense. I figured it out. Fighters like John Jones, who have tried to take Dominick Reyes down, that should be able to take Dominick Reyes down, can't do it because his hips are so low, it's so hard to get a good double leg takedown on him because he's fucking shaped like Crash Bandicoot. I don't see this being a grappling bout whatsoever. I think this is going to be a stand-up match between two good strikers, and I think I'm going to go off the guy who's not coming off a KO loss. Both guys are good on the feet. Both guys mix it up. I'd say Jiri has a few more techniques than Dominick Reyes does, and just the way he throws his techniques that Dominick Reyes does throw are a little bit different than the way that Dominick Reyes throws them. Like, Jiri has the same amount of techniques as other fighters. He just has different ways of carrying out those techniques that aren't traditionally the perfect way that we're taught to throw them, like Usman's right hand on Masvidal. Reyes has a right hand. Jiri has 5 right hands. Like, somehow. Don't ask me how, but he just does. He fires from the hip. He's got a nasty lead uppercut as well. I think that's really going to affect Dominick Reyes, and I've noticed this with Dominick Reyes as well. He takes a big step in. There's a lot of stuff that goes on before Dominick Reyes does something to his opponent. It's either a big pronunciated step in and a big jump up before he starts his combination, or there's a bunch of feints beforehand and then he comes in with his combination that's supposed to land afterwards. I feel like you can't be doing all that stuff before you come in against Jiri Prochazka, because he's just going to land the shot as soon as you try and move forward. He's got such a crazy reach for his size, 6'2" or 6'3" or something like that, with an 80-inch reach. Pretty ridiculous for the division right now. I like Jiri Prochazka's chances here. I think he's going to go out there and get a KO over Dominick Reyes in the second round. I'll say lead uppercut to a combination finish, mixing it up to the body as well, but I think we're in for a very crazy first round, and I would not even be surprised if Jiri gets rocked at some point in the first round. I've just noticed that Dominick Reyes is really good when he's winning, and if he can't figure something out, he genuinely doesn't really know what to do. Reyes is so good when he's the hammer, but when he can't figure something out, there's almost no other option for him. He does not know how to compute the situation. The Ozdemir fight was very close. I actually think that Ozdemir fight can go towards Dominick Reyes. I know a lot of people thought that was a robbery, but I thought Reyes outlanded him in the rounds that he needed to. Oh well. Reyes looked good against Ozdemir. It wasn't a good fight with Ozdemir, let's be real. Neither did Jiri Prochazka, to be fair, against Ozdemir. He got hurt quite badly in the first round. He was taking a bunch of shots that he just did not need to take. Maybe he was making a statement in his UFC debut. You go back to check his other fights. Turns out he's not making a statement. He just does that every single time he fights. There's no grappling. It's a stand-up bout. Dominick Reyes, I feel like, has less options, less tools, less fight IQ. What he does do is amazing, but Jiri, I feel like, is a kind of opponent that just does not let you do what you want to do. You're fighting in his fight. He's the guy hosting the show that you're a part of right now. And I think Dominick Reyes is going to be reacting a lot to the movement of Jiri. And I think he's going to get caught with something real bad in the second round after a crazy first round where maybe both guys land on each other and have some good moments. Maybe it's going to be a bit of a slower round with Dominick Reyes chopping at the legs. I feel like people could chop at the legs of Jiri Prochazka, but he does throw a lot of weird stuff. So maybe they don't want to chop at his legs because they know that maybe a lead uppercut off the front hand is going to be coming. I have no idea what to expect with this one, but I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm just looking at things. Younger guy Jiri, more experienced by far. I know Reyes beat John Jones, but I feel like John Jones is kind of pathetic right now. I'd pick Jan Blachowicz to beat John Jones, and maybe after this one, can change my mind about who else I'll pick against John Jones, because I feel like John Jones has been fading recently. We've seen Thiago Santos, who was able to go on one leg with John Jones to a split decision, lose to some guys in the division like Alexander Rakic, now that he's got his legs back and he isn't injured in the middle of a fight. You've also got guys like Jan Blachowicz steamrolling Dominick Reyes after Dominick Reyes clearly beats John Jones 3-2. I think we've got a new wave in this division, and it's very Eastern European, to be honest with you guys. Alexander Rakic, Jan Blachowicz, Jiri Prochazka now. Really looking forward to this bout, and I think that Jiri's got it done. KO, Reyes coming off a KO loss, not good momentum. Jiri's got all the confidence in the world. He's been KO'd once recently in his career, not too recently, like many years ago, and he's actually redeemed that loss to King Mo, which is a bad loss when you look at it, because we know King Mo is the older guy that's still around doing it, but not really the high caliber level fighter that he maybe was back in the day. Either way, Jiri got KO'd by him really badly and got face planted. I want to just mention one thing though before that he got KO'd. Before Jiri got KO'd, King Mo was starting to slow down. Okay, and this is the way that Jiri won the rematch as well. King Mo started to slow down, and Jiri picked it up and got the finish on him really well. Before that, though, in the first fight with King Mo's starting to slow down. It looks like Jiri's going to have a bit of an advantage. And I'm not kidding you guys here, which is why it's so risky to pick Jiri, but I feel so worried to pick Dominick Reyes because of how dangerous Jiri is. Jiri just walks straight into a punch from King Mo. And I'm not saying that in the way that, he leant into it, he walked into it, he didn't see it coming. He genuinely pulled out his controller connector, his controller's off, and he's left it on, like, move forward mode. I don't even know what is going on with Jiri Prochazka. He's just moving forward with his hands down, just moving forward at King Mo. I don't know what he's going to do out there. But I think the craziness, after Dominick Reyes is on a 2-fight losing streak and needs this more than anything, and it's coming off that KO loss, is just going to bamboozle him in that first round, and it's going to be absolute madness, and then Jiri's going to be the one that makes the adjustments afterwards, because when he wants to be good, he's amazing. But sometimes he wants to be KO'd, it seems like, and it's worrying. It really is worrying, because my original prediction was Dominick Reyes head kick, and now I'm leaning Jiri Prochazka. I feel like he's got this one in the bag, though. Dominick Reyes, to me, watching the Volkan Ozdemir fight, I'd rather have the Ozdemir fight that Jiri had than the one that Dominick Reyes had, because Jiri, like, figured Ozdemir out. Like, he's like, okay, second round come around, I've got him. I've got Ozdemir. I've seen everything he has to throw at me in round one. I've taken all that he throws at me in round one, and people talk about the power of Ozdemir. I say Jiri's got a pretty good chin as well, but he's also very good at making sure that he sees shots coming and meeting them with his forehead quite well. I feel like he figured out Ozdemir in the second round to get him done, like really pressured him, faked a flying knee, put his arms around the neck of Ozdemir, and Ozdemir's just like, what the fuck is going on right now? And down goes Ozdemir on the canvas. And Dominick Reyes just like, he might have lost that fight to Ozdemir. Even in his mind in the cage, I'm sure he was thinking to himself, I might have lost this round. I might have lost this round. And he didn't change anything whatsoever. And in the 4th and 5th rounds against John Jones, when things started not going his way, I understand that he thought he was up 3-0, like everyone did who has eyes, because we know that John Jones lost that fight to Dominick Reyes. But he didn't change anything in that bout. Against Jan Blachowicz, things aren't working out in the first round. He's been tagged with a couple of shots. He just gets aggressive and loses. There doesn't seem to be much else other than, if I'm better than you, I will win. There doesn't seem much else other than that. Reyes is better than someone. He goes out there, he beats them by going forward and landing big shots the entire time. If that doesn't work, it gets risky for him. And I feel like it's not going to work against Jiri. And plus, Dominick Reyes is not this guy that gets like non-stop first round KOs. I'll go through his career right now. He does have some finishes in the first round. Against Joachim Christensen in his debut. Fair enough, I guess. That's pretty cool. You know, like, I don't really care about that one. He beat Jeremy Kimball in the first round by submission. I don't see him submitting Jiri whatsoever. I don't see anything happening on the ground. He finished Jared Cannonier in the first round, who was a little bit undersized for the division back then. He also beat Chris Weidman in the first round as well, but that was by hammer fists when Weidman went for a takedown and ended up on his back. I don't see any grappling whatsoever, and the only time he's got a first round finish in his career is against Jared Cannonier, and that was all the way back in 2018, and Cannonier's now at middleweight, much smaller. I feel like Jiri's got this one. I don't see him being KO'd in the first round. If OSP can take the shots of Dominick Reyes in those early rounds and survive a bit of an onslaught from Dominick Reyes, I'm sure that Jiri can as well, and I feel like Jiri's going to find the openings that other people couldn't find, other than Jan Blachowicz, I guess, against Dominick Reyes as these rounds go on. I'm picking Jiri, man. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. The winner of this one takes on Alexander Rakic. The loser of this one probably takes on Thiago Santos. Loser goes home after that. Like and subscribe. Click that button up there. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Jiri Prochazka.